What's up guys, welcome back to another Black Ops Cold War video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the campaign, the story mode for Black Ops Cold War. So this was leaked today and we have details about what the story will entail, the setting, characters, a whole bunch of different stuff about the campaign, as well as when the actual reveal of this game will take place. So before we get into this video, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, that way you guys don't miss out on any more Black Ops Cold War videos, posting videos every single day on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed with that notification bell, that you guys don't miss out. But let's get into it. So really quickly, there was a recent leak that came out saying that Treyarch is going to be exclusively working on multiplayer and zombies within Black Ops Cold War. Meanwhile, Sledgehammer will be making the campaign, and likely Raven will be working on the Warzone / Blackout portion, because Raven was actually the ones who developed Warzone for Modern Warfare. Meanwhile, Infinity Ward worked on the single player, the multiplayer, and Spec Ops. So Raven created Warzone, so it makes sense for Raven to also be doing the Warzone update for Black Ops Cold War for Blackout. And Sledgehammer is apparently working on the single player campaign. Meanwhile, Treyarch is solely focused on multiplayer and zombies. And I think this is actually probably one of the best things that can happen. I think Black Ops 4 kind of suffered because Treyarch had so much on their plate. They had the campaign that was actually cut really far into development, and then ended up replacing it with a specialist mission. So they kind of had a campaign of sorts. They also had to focus on multiplayer. They had to focus on zombies. They had to focus on Blackout, and then also on competitive with League play. So Treyarch seems to have been spread super duper thin, and I personally think that if they would have had another studio to handle something just like multiplayer or Blackout or something, Treyarch could have done a much better job with Black Ops 4, and it could have been one of the best Call of Duty games out there. So I think this is actually a good thing for Sledgehammer to be exclusively working on the campaign. Treyarch can focus solely on multiplayer and zombies, and then Raven can focus on the Battle Royale. I think that's going to work out the best for this game, and that's what leaks are saying. Another leak, this is something I actually have reported on the channel before, and that is that Black Ops Cold War is apparently set in the future. So people are saying that the game is going to be set in 2025, but there's going to be flashbacks to the Cold War, to like the 70s and stuff, which we also know is confirmed from that Red Door COD 2020 alpha that showed up on the PlayStation Store and included the logo for this year's Call of Duty game, and in the background the date March 15th, 1976 showed up, as well as a couple other dates. But that was one thing that people are saying, was that it's actually going to take place in 2025 but have flashback missions to the actual Cold War. So that's how it's going to be a futuristic game, but also still be a Cold War. So we do have some news about the reveal date for Black Ops Cold War, and I covered that in a video on my channel yesterday, so make sure you guys go and check that out if you haven't already. But basically the gist is we might not be getting the reveal date until August. That is absolutely insane, but if you guys want to hear more about that, make sure you guys go and check out that video if you missed it yesterday. But now let's get into the actual leaks for the campaign. So this comes from the COD OG's Discord, and I'm just going to read off this block of text. You guys can go and check it out in the description for yourselves if you want to. But here we go. It says, a thread of possible leaks for COD 2020 posted on Twitter. COD 2020 story in a nutshell. The tension between the United States and the Soviet Union after World War II. You'll play as two different characters in the campaign. One as a KGB operative in the Eastern Bloc, and the other as a CIA operative in the Western Bloc. Both are allies with the same goal, to stop the spread of communist power USSR over the region. As a spy, you don't exist, and your missions are top secret. The dark operations of the Cold War. Similar to Black Ops 1 story, COD 2020 is a parallel universe to that, as if its events are happening, but you are witnessing them from a different angle. You will meet Frank Woods in the game. Latest leaks confirm a younger version of this character, played by a new voice actor, but he's not a playable character. No info about Mason and Reznov at this time. The campaign story is much more diverse than Modern Warfare. There's estimated to be around 5 hours long. A huge portion of the main campaign is in the Western Bloc, snowy cities of Berlin and Russia, and the Eastern Bloc portion of the campaign taking place in Vietnam. This game is almost a copy of Black Ops 1, but with new story to tell, which make me think this game is a soft reboot of the Black Ops series. Vietnam missions, the source said Vietnam setting around 30% of the game. The player will not witness the war from start to end. You will be there for about 4 chapters of the story. He describes a couple of missions of Vietnam. One of them is to rescue a prisoner captured by the Viet Cong, and a source said Google Operation Rolling Thunder is the final event of the Vietnam portion of the campaign. So that's what they say. So if we take that and then we go off of the basically like the official information, so that like an actual logo that we got that was leaked from the alpha, the dates in there are in the 70s. So when did the Vietnam War take place? So the Vietnam War really started around 1955, and over the course of the next 2 decades it faded. So part of the Vietnam War did take place in the 70s, which does line up with that leak. Because like I said, there's a date on there that says March 15th, 1976, And he says here, though, that the Vietnam War is only for a couple missions in the story, but he says that the final sections of the Vietnam portion of the game are going to be about Operation Rolling Thunder, which was actually from 1965 to 1968. So I'm assuming it'll actually skip a few years, that way we can get around to the dates shown in that leaked image with the 70s. Kind of interesting. It would also make sense, though, if it was going to take place in the future with flashbacks, that way they can kind of skip around. It doesn't have to be kind of a linear story, but I think this is kind of interesting. I like this because although it's going to still tie into the Black Ops universe, it's going to be its own new story. It's not going to like retcon what happened with the Black Ops story so far. It's not going to change things. It's just going to expand upon it further. And I think that's great. It says that Woods will be in the game. We had known this for a little while now, that leaks were saying that. And that James C. Burns, the guy who plays Frank Woods in Black Ops 1, 2, and 4, that he has not been contacted by Activision yet to reprise his role. And he came out and he said that after all these rumors came out saying that they were going to get a younger actor to play Woods for this, and these leaks also line up with that and confirm that as well. Like they say, it's going to be kind of tying into Black Ops 1, and it's going to be the same universe, same events going on, but just from a different point of view, which I think is going to be really cool. But they say it's going to be about a 5-hour campaign. I think that's great. I kind of like campaigns that are a little bit longer and that they have more story to tell. And if the rumors are true about Sledgehammer making this year's Call of Duty campaign, I think it'll be great. I really enjoyed World War II's campaign. I recently went through and I finished that. I think it's a fantastic campaign, very emotional. But one thing I do kind of find odd about this whole situation, though, is that it's going to be Sledgehammer basically making a Black Ops campaign, even though that's like Treyarch's whole deal. I'm sure Treyarch has a lot of input as to where the story goes and stuff. It's probably written out the story for Sledgehammer, and Sledgehammer's designing everything else for the campaign. But all in all, I think it sounds really cool, about a 5-hour campaign. I am actually really happy that we are getting the campaign, which is a change from Black Ops 4, which Black Ops 4 didn't have one. The game actually technically did have one for a long time, for about 2 years, and then it finally got scrapped. And I'll have another video coming up on my channel specifically talking about the Black Ops 4's campaign, because we got leaked footage of that, although Activision has been DMCA takedowning a lot of videos, any of that actual footage. We're gonna have a video about talking about that up on the channel, I believe tomorrow. But all in all, this is really crazy. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Do you guys think that this leak is real? I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. It sounds pretty credible, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. So like I mentioned, the reveal might not be coming until about mid-August, so if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys go and check that out. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about Black Ops Cold War's campaign? I think it'd be a pretty cool campaign, tying in with Black Ops 1 and just being a kind of a side game within the Black Ops universe. I think that's fantastic, and I'm really excited what they do for this. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments down below. I read all the comments. Make sure you guys comment, let me know your thoughts. Let's have a discussion about this, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Ring that notification bell and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow with another video.